Cancer, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for June 29th through July 5th. My name is Athen. So we've got a full moon this week happening in your 6th house, very close to Pluto, which is, of course, the planet of transformation and change. And full moon is always an awareness time period. It's also a culmination time and a high energy time. So with Pluto transiting your 6th house for the past many years, there's perhaps been changes with your routine, your health, your diet, your regimen, things like this, helping others improve, positive changes there, maybe even in the workplace, which is facilitating less of the attachment to that particular area of life. So hopefully, you've been continuing to release attachments there, and this full moon can certainly emphasize an awareness of that and having that non-attached perspective to these 6th house matters. 6th house is basically everything on the day-to-day level when it comes to our survival, taking care of things, organizing things, our work, our routine, things like that. So that's going to be the highlight, and again, it can mean a culmination of any new beginnings that you set off here. Maybe some new crafts you developed 6 months ago, some new routines or regiments you started since then, can be a high point of that. Also, a culmination of any new beginnings you set off in relation to groups, friends, community-related things, or technology-related things, or spiritual subjects, behind the scenes activities, which was the new moon happening right on the cusp between your 11th and your 12th house 2 weeks ago. So that's the middle part of the week. Coming into this week, though, we have Venus trining up to Uranus. And this is very nice because this conjunction with Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter, will be exact all the way through Thursday. So this conjunction is in your first house. You've had perhaps a lot of opportunities for almost the past year to expand your horizons, to open up your field of view, and to expand your mind, maybe through philosophy, spiritual studies, things like that, or maybe even physically, such as through traveling and things like that, or connecting to matters that are foreign or abroad. So that, I think, all those areas you can find very enjoyable, I would say, and have been with, or you should have had been able to, with Venus conjuncting up to Jupiter, I would say. And this goes exact here on Wednesday. But this trine from Uranus is really activating that, freeing up that energy, especially relating to these opportunities, and freeing up yourself in many ways too, because again, we are all talking about your first house here, which is where all this activity is. So Uranus in the 9th has hopefully been freeing you up in your life path, your philosophy, the things you learn, letting go of some old philosophies, some old things relating to all this expansion and stuff, about spirituality or whatever, that's freeing you up. And it's that freeing energy that is going to be supporting you this early part of the week. And I think it'll also be supporting your groups, friends, and everything on that level, which is Venus ruling your 11th. Also home and family, Venus ruling your 4th. Also the routine stuff, and also more of that philosophy and stuff as well, which is where Jupiter rules your 9th house. So that's the early part, and I think just enjoying those things that I mentioned in general, and in a balanced way, of course, because we always want to follow that balanced path with Venus and Jupiter, or with any planet really, and that's where we can find that enjoyment. So on Wednesday, with that full moon in your 6th house in Sagittarius, we've got the sun trining up to Neptune. So there is a flow of energy in relation to these spiritual things behind the scenes. This is a time where it is important for you to get that rest and relaxation. One, because your moon, your ruler, the moon, had that new moon energy, very important here, involving that 12th. But you've got the sun and Mars here as well. And it's important for you to put in whatever action and energy is available to you to enjoy more of the meditative time, relaxing time, tranquil time, connecting to God, to all that is, etc. And that's going to be a balancing act this week with this opposition up to Pluto and this whole full moon energy. So full moon is always about balance here. 6th house is about, again, the daily work environment, daily material side of things. This is the spiritual side. So embodying and incorporating the spiritual energies into the day-to-day, and remembering that things like meditation and spiritual subjects do take a tremendous amount of discipline, and that is all seen from the 6th house. So always with oppositions, finding that middle path. Now around Wednesday and Thursday as well, Mars is going to be squaring up to the North Node, reminding you that this whole life path of this year is about focusing and growing in your communications and in your thinking, how you're thinking about things, and maybe things relating to siblings or exchanges, things like this, learning, writing, reading. So here, the square is signifying that there is perhaps some energy to put into it. Mars is a very active planet, so being intent on constructively organizing maybe, your communications, putting more energy into that, more focus and attention on that, more energy and focus in terms of, how you're thinking about things, and being willing to, again, grow in that area, which is the North Node in Virgo. So that's the square. It's very constructive. It holds the energies of Saturn. So putting in that discipline and conscious energy to focus on thoughts and communications, I think this week, you'll find constructive. Now, Thursday, we've got Mercury sextiling up to Uranus. So this is all about this, stuff you've been learning in regards to giving, contributing, causes, groups, friends, things larger than self, which is what you've been thinking about and communicating, or talking about, maybe even like social issues and things like that lately for a while now, with Mercury in that 11th gone retrograde. But more opportunities there to maybe connect with friends and those types of social things. And that can be very freeing this weekend. Now, also over the weekend, Mercury will be squaring up to Chiron, reminding you that there is this flow and trust with the ups and downs and ebb and flows of life, which is the 8th house, which I think you're reflecting on, or can be, with these planets retrograde in your 8th, and finding the flow with that, with both Neptune and Chiron in Pisces. So in either case, though, I would say constructively remembering that there's a change, there's constant growth and regeneration in life, will be something that can support you this week in regards to maybe these 11th house matters. Mercury also does rule spirituality and behind the scenes activities for you, and that 3rd house. So I think there's a lot of activity there this week involving these matters. 12th house of spiritual stuff, 3rd house of thoughts and communications. So focusing on that, putting attention on that, I think you'll find very healing. Now, over the weekend, Friday and Saturday, we've got Mercury then sextiling up to this conjunction between Venus and Jupiter in that 1st house. So again, these sextiles, they're opportunities, they're gateways, they're openings. So it's nothing we're pushed into, but I think it's there. And I think over the weekend can mean some more of the expansion, opening of the horizons, more opportunities again to connect to friends and expand on that level, connect to home, perhaps family with Venus. Philosophy, spirituality, astrology, all these things that can then open your mind and really help you see this new perspective that we're all gaining this week with all these aspects from Mercury. Now, on Saturday and Sunday, Saturn goes retrograde back into your 4th house. So over the past few years with Saturn in the 4th, up until the later part of last year, there's been this hard work and discipline in regards to either home life, family life, things like that. So this is another chance here with Saturn going back into the 4th house. It means that there's some things that need to be restructured here, some final things that need to be built and systemized, put in that maturity, hard work, and grounded energy into these matters, 4th house. So this will be for the next couple months. So you'll notice the shift probably this weekend, but definitely next week. And any maturity and hard work to put into the 4th house, I would highly recommend, because Saturn does always pay off where there is hard work put in. So, Cancer, I hope you guys have a nice week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal session, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care.